Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is not going to be a makeup video, it is going to be a reading vlog. I picked up the book Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros this morning, and I just wanted to film a reading vlog. I feel like this book is so hyped up that I just want to document my experience reading it and let you guys know my thoughts. I recently watched a reading vlog of the Song of Achilles, and I really liked how it was filmed. It was a spoiler review, but she told you like what page she was on, and so I was able to just watch the video and pause when she said she was at a place where I had not gotten to yet. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to be reading Fourth Wing on my Kindle. So I don't have the physical copy of it, and so versus telling you guys a page number that I'm on, because I know it's probably different in the Kindle than the physical book, I am just going to tell you what chapter I'm on. So I will make sure that before any new clip, I tell you what chapter I'm on. If I say I'm on chapter 12, I might spoil something in chapter 12. So before you watch that part of the video, make sure that you have read the entire part of chapter 12. If you don't want anything spoiled, definitely come back and watch this video after you've read the book. But if you want to kind of read it along with me, I'm going to jump in as I go through a few chapters at a time, a chapter at a time, I don't know. I have heard so much about this book, but I've really tried to not remember like the actual premise of it. I know a little bit of like what this is about. I purposefully did not read the summary of the book yesterday or today because I want to go into it as blind as I can. I've just heard so many good things about it. I also noticed that this is available on audio on my Hoopla account, so I am going to download it on audio. I'm primarily planning to read it on the Kindle, but if I'm like driving or something and I really want to listen to it, then I will go ahead and do that. But again, I'm going to make sure to tell you guys the actual chapter that I am on. So I cannot wait to dive into this. So far, I'm only a few pages in, so I am just in chapter 1, and the chapters are very long, or at least like they seem like they're going to be long. I am not a fast reader, and also in fantasy books, I want to purposely take my time so that way I can like really learn the world and the politics and everything that's going on. So I'm on page 57 in the Kindle, but I don't know again like what page that would be. It says I only have 4 minutes left in this chapter, so I'm going to finish this chapter right now, and then I will let you guys know like my thoughts after just chapter 1. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. So we're going to go ahead, take the bookmark off, and I'm going to read the rest of chapter 1. Just finished chapter 1. I also just realized that there's a trash bag in the background. That is my clothes that I'm like decluttering, so just ignore that. But wow, okay, I feel like a lot of times in fantasy books it can take me a minute to get into it because there's like a lot of world building. You have to learn all the politics, you have to learn all the characters, like there's so much that's going on, but my attention has already been grabbed for sure in this book. So I'm feeling like very encouraged about that. I will say that it's showing the chapters seem a little bit shorter now. Like this one just says 15 minutes left. I think because I left my Kindle open and I wasn't actually reading yesterday, it had said like chapter 1 was going to take 45 minutes and it didn't. But I think that's kind of what happened. But I do read a little bit slower just in general, but especially in a fantasy book. So I am excited to see that it's only 15-minute chapters. Something about like that mind trick for me does wonders when the chapters are shorter. I can just read it a lot faster. I know you can like tap it away and not see it, but I don't know. I like to know how much longer I have. Holy crap. I did not expect Dylan to be the one to fall. I thought that the other girl was going to be the one to fall off. And of course, when she starts describing this guy that she thinks is like super attractive standing there, you know that that's going to be the one that her sister told her to stay away from. So I think that that was interesting. Mira gave her so much good advice. I did not expect Dylan to be the one to fall. I figured one of the two people in front of her that she just became friends with was going to fall. I thought that it was going to be Rhiannon. I don't know how to say her name. Rhiannon. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Rhiannon, but since they swapped the shoes, I was thinking like maybe that would be her, because then they would have to show how Violet had to have like these different shoes throughout the whole thing, and it was going to be a weakness of hers or something. But I am excited to keep reading this book. I don't know, so far it's really hooked me, so I'm just going to keep reading, and I'll keep you guys posted in like a few more chapters maybe, or whenever it kind of stands out. Okay, I have made it to chapter 8, and I gotta fill you guys in. I didn't expect to have a jump from chapter 1 to chapter 8, but I was able to get it on audio. I mentioned that I found this audiobook on Hoopla, but it was like a full production cast, and it was I'm just being honest, was awful. Like, I could not listen to it. It just, I couldn't even make it past like 5 minutes of it, and I thought I was going to be able to listen to a lot of it that way. So I just kind of figured, okay, well, I'm just going to have to like actually read it on the Kindle, which is fine. I had just been in the car a lot over the weekend, and so I was like, oh, I'll knock out a little bit here and there, but it didn't happen. Well, then my friend gave me her information for Libby so that I could log in on hers, because on my Libby it has like an 8 or 10 week wait, but hers didn't have a wait. And so now I have logged in last night, and I've been listening to it. So I was able to listen to the book while I meal prepped this week's food, and I flew through it. I am absolutely loving it. I had read a couple more chapters just on the Kindle, but I listened to about 3 chapters, I think, last night. And I just figured I needed to jump in and actually like talk to you guys about it. So I am just like full force ready for this book. I feel like a lot of times in fantasy books, it takes me a minute to like get into the plot and learn like about the world and the politics and everything. I have really enjoyed a lot of aspects of this book already though. I really love how Violet was like telling herself facts when she was like walking to, what do you call that thing? I think they called it a parapet in the audiobook, but I was calling it like a parapet because it's P-E-T, but I think it's a parapet. And when she was like walking on it, she was like stating facts that she knew because, you know, she has all this knowledge of a scribe, which I thought was just such a smart way to do that, because it was giving us like very straightforward information about the world that she's living in without going into like an entire narrative of like pages and pages of just mumbo jumbo that I'm not interested in. I felt like she did a really good job of telling us information in a way that we would like actually remember it. So I like that. I'm also just liking the plot line so far. I do really appreciate that they kind of said that she was like born fragile. They keep making her into this like really fragile person, and like everything is breaking and she's tearing ligaments and like pulling her muscles and stuff. So I liked that they didn't just make her like, oh, you know, I'm just a young girl, like I'm just fragile. No, like she actually was born with weak muscles and weak limbs and stuff, and weak bones just in general. So I do appreciate that like they're actually showing that like, okay, she's dealt with this her whole life. You know, she actually, you know, deals with this, and this is what she's used to. And so I feel like it's going to end up playing a pretty big role in the story, but I love that she's not letting it like tear her down. Like she knows that her mom would just put her right back in that quadrant, but I do appreciate that she's telling Dain like, no, I'm doing this. I've made my decision. I'm not going to the scribe quadrant, even though you're trying to get me to. I was surprised as far as like some of the conversations go in front of the professors and stuff, like how they don't even try and act like they're getting along. Like they're just totally immature, like even in front of the professors and stuff, about like telling each other off and like that they're gonna kill each other and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I loved the tree scene, like everything that was going on in the tree. I'm just like holding my breath, like what is about to happen. So I cannot wait to see like that just continue to play out. But Xaden is right. She does need to use that little knife trick on, is his name Jack? Forgot what his first name was. There's a lot of names right now, so if I'm forgetting some of them, but yeah, she does need to use that little knife trick, as he called it, with him, I feel like. So that'll be interesting to see it play out. But so far, I am just really, really enjoying this. I do have some things around the house that I want to get done later. I think I want to like reset my room, so I will maybe listen to the book while I do that. That's how I'm feeling so far. I am really, really loving this book, and I'm so glad that I'm like just into it, because like I said, a lot of times it can take me a long time to get into a book like this. I do think that having the audiobook is going to help a lot, but I want to make sure that I actually read some of it too on the Kindle, because I was really enjoying reading on the Kindle too. And a lot of times when it comes to audiobooks, like I obviously just read them a lot faster because I can listen to them in the car or while I'm cooking or cleaning or just doing anything. But I want to make sure that I'm actually like reading the book as well, because it has my attention, so it's a good one to read. I've also been working on a crochet project, so that'll give me another chance to listen to the audiobook, but I will be excited to just kind of use both of them in conjunction. So far I'm loving it. Those are kind of some of my thoughts so far, and I'll fill you guys in after I've read a little bit more. I just finished listening to chapter 8, and all I have to say is, oh my gosh, I am so ready to read chapter 9. Okay, we are back in the bathroom for this update because I'm about to go to the gym. So I'm just got done changing and I'm gonna put my hair up in a ponytail. But I just finished chapter 9 in the car on the way here, and I'm actually really enjoying the audiobook, so I'm glad that that worked out. I don't know why sometimes I feel like I need to not listen to so much of the audiobook, I need to actually read it, but like I'm still reading it, like I'm still like consuming it and listening to it and hearing the whole story. But I don't know, for some reason I guess I just felt like I would read it physically, but that is okay. I'm gonna keep listening to it, and I'm probably about to listen to a lot more at the gym. But I'll make sure to get like hopefully some reading clips for you guys later, because I know it's been a lot of like jumping back and forth. But I wanted to share some thoughts because obviously like I'm feeling like Violet and Xaden are going to end up teaming up and then getting together, or in the other way around, I don't know. But I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to be from like Violet learning something about like either her mom or just like the government structure in general, and choosing to kind of agree with Xaden's point of view. Like maybe there's a lot she doesn't know, or is Xaden going to kind of come to her side and see things the way that she does? I'm curious to see. I feel like one of them is going to have to jump ship and start seeing things from the perspective of the other one for it to be like something that would last. I don't know. That's my thought right now. I'm curious to see like how that's going to go. I don't know that I really have like a prediction by any means. If I had to pick one, I feel like maybe she's gonna learn things about her mom and the way that things are run and kind of start to see things his way. I don't know, but I would be curious to see like how that's gonna go. And then also, Dane is getting on my last nerves. It's one thing for at the beginning him to be like, no, you should just be a scribe, but like for him to like continually keep doing things. I feel like when she was when the mender came and was fixing her a few chapters ago, I feel like that should have been enough. When she was like, no, I'm doing this, he should have been like, yeah, okay, you know what, that sucks. But like, I get it, he doesn't want to see her die. And he just is convinced that she's gonna die. But I think he needs to start encouraging her instead of just like casting more and more doubt into her mind. So I don't know, I'm curious to see how this is gonna go, but I'm about to just switch my watch band and head to the gym. I'm gonna listen while I work out and hopefully read some more physically later, but I don't know, I have a lot of things I could do today where I could listen to the audiobook, so I might just end up kind of doing that. So I'll keep you guys posted, but those are my thoughts right now after finishing up chapter 9. Okay, I listened to quite a bit while I was working out. I'm now in the middle of chapter 12, but I just want to mention, and this isn't really a spoiler for like any particular section or chapter, but I just really love the way that Violet like stands up for herself and the things that she says. She's so witty and sassy, and even just like her inner dialogue. Hey, stop it. Hello. That's not a toy. I'm gonna have to move those later. But even just like her inner dialogue to herself of like what she's thinking, I think is just hilarious a lot of times. And I'm really enjoying like how the narrator is reading it too. Like I mentioned, I did not like the full cast production thing, but just like the typical audiobook is actually amazing. So I'm really enjoying that, but also just reading it physically or like on the Kindle, whatever. But reading it with your eyes instead of just listening to it has been really nice too. So I think I'm just about to read some more. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to like actually read some in the Kindle or if I want to keep reading while I work on my crochet project. That's kind of sounding fun, so I might do that. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep reading one way or the other.
You're up. Stay on the path. You walk up, you wait for the entire squad, you walk back down.
I finished chapter 15 last night, and I had to make myself stop reading so that I would actually go to sleep and get some sleep last night because I was so into this book. I just wanted to keep reading, but unfortunately I am an adult and I have to go to work today. So I knew that staying up late was not going to cut it because I haven't had a good night's sleep in like literally like 2 weeks. And I actually slept very well last night, so I'm feeling well rested. And even though I still want to know like what's going on in the story, I am glad that I put it aside. So like I said, I'm at this chapter 16 points. I'm about to be talking about chapter 15. So if you have not read chapter 15, don't watch this part of the video, pause if you don't want spoilers. But this whole entire time, like anytime that they would mention a dragon, any single time that they would mention a dragon, I was like, is this going to be hers? Is this going to end up being hers one day? Like, which one is it going to be? Of course, whenever I'm reading it, I'm like wondering, like, is she going to end up with the biggest dragon? Or is she going to end up with the smallest dragon? And then they meet the golden dragon, and I'm like, oh, is it gonna be this one? Like, it seems too obvious, right? Like, I had kind of expected her to have like this mean like massive dragon, but I just, every single time I saw a new one, I was basically like, is this about to be it? I didn't think it was going to be the green ones, and I didn't think it was going to be the red ones. But when we met first of all, when we saw like the navy one in the very beginning, I didn't realize that it was already Xaden's dragon. So I was like, is that going to be it? Because it was like looking at her. But it makes sense now, like why I was looking at her, because it was Xaden's. But I'm like, I kept thinking, like, is it going to be golden? Because she kept saying like, oh, I'm protecting it because it's the right thing to do. I'm like, or are you protecting it because it's your dragon? Like, that was really sending my mind like through some whiplash there, to be honest. But when it ended up being the biggest one, I was like, oh man, like, that's crazy, you know? Like, that is pretty cool though. But then I'm like, but what about the little one? And then she kept following, and then so in my mind, I'm like, are they like a package deal? Like, is she about to get both of these? But then the little Goldie dragon didn't talk to her. So then I thought, well, maybe it's just going to be the big one. But then she's like sitting there with them. And then I'm like waiting for her to come into Violet's mind and tell her her name and that she was also her dragon. And so I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I do like, I don't know, I kind of wish, and I've forgotten now how to say like the big dragon's name. Is it Tane? I don't know. I was listening to the audiobook when he first said his name, but then when I was reading it, and I forgot the pronunciation of it. Tairn. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But when she turned back and was like asking Tairn through her mind, like what to do, he was like, tell them. And I'm thinking like, girl, you should have just told him anyways. I don't know though. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm about to find out. I know everybody's mad, and so I'm waiting to see like what happens. I'm sure people are pissed because there's like so many of the cadets and not enough dragons already. So then they're going to be jealous because they think that she's the weak link and all of this stuff. I am just so excited to see how this is going to play out. But I just have to say, like, especially seeing her mom in this chapter too, like, I absolutely hate her mom. It is so annoying to see that she's just like continually just not paying attention to her daughter. And she's just like, yeah, you suck basically. And all she's looking at right now are like all the other riders / cadets and the other dragons and stuff, and even her dragon, but still not looking at her, like doubting whether or not she actually knows his name. Like, that is insane to me. And I feel like she should be like the proudest person ever right now, because she just got like the biggest dragon that everybody wanted. And he had even said like he wasn't wanting to match with anybody or whatever. So I don't know. Also, she did like kind of help out her fellow cadets, because she bonded with not one but two dragons that I don't know if the golden one was like, I guess the golden one was like in the mix of like ready to bond, so you know she got that one. But then Tairn wasn't even like on the roster, if you will. I guess they probably would have assumed that like he would have been later, but he had already said he wasn't going to like bond with anybody. So I don't know. I'm all for it. I am so excited to see how this is going to play out. Like, I could just see Violet and, oh gosh, what was the girl dragon's name? The little golden one. Andarna. So, for short, I'm going to go with the short name. So, I can just see Violet and Andarna, like, riding on the back of Tairn together, because she's so little, even though she apparently does know how to fly. So, I did really like how that turned out. I wish that Jack would have been, like, the unconscious or the dead one, to be honest, but I'm sure that there's a reason that he's not. We're gonna see him again for sure. Yeah, but I also really loved how Xaden just like showed up even when he really wasn't supposed to, and he's like, I can narrate. Like, I just actually really am enjoying the dynamic between the two of them, which I'm pretty sure is the author's like point of this. And I also appreciate that she has kind of taken Dane out of the picture for the last couple of chapters, because he was really getting on my nerves. And she even said like the last time she saw him like 3 days ago or whatever was him again trying to get her to leave. I'm like, can you just like chill out? Like, she's not leaving. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts right now. I am just so excited to see like where this continues to go. I cannot believe that she just bonded with two dragons. You guys have to let me know if you're reading this or have read it. Like, did you expect her to bond with either of them or both of them, because I was curious to see like how this was gonna go. But I think my mind was just like in total whiplash. At one point I thought, oh yeah, that one's gonna be hers, to both of them. But it was kind of just like, I'm along for the ride, and whatever Rebecca Yarros wants to say or do, I will just believe it. So I don't know. I think it's kind of more fun to go in that way. Like, you can have a couple predictions, but for me, I just want to be along for the ride and like enjoy the book as she intended. So I'm gonna keep getting ready, and then hopefully I'll have a little bit of time that I can actually read more of the book before work. I think I will, because it is pouring down rain right now, and so my hair has like a tiny bit of like, I wouldn't call it a wave basically, from my curls yesterday, but I didn't put any product in them yesterday, so yeah, they're not gonna like really hold up. But it's raining today anyways, so they wouldn't hold up anyways. So I'm just gonna leave my hair as is, maybe put a hair oil in it at the ends and just brush it through, but I don't have to take time to do my hair. And I took my breakfast to work yesterday and then didn't eat it, so I already have breakfast ready to go at work today, so I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of finish getting ready really quick and then be able to read. I still have like 45 minutes before I have to leave the house, so I should be able to read a good bit, and I'm excited about that. So I will catch up with you guys when I've read some more, but I am just like totally into this book. I am excited to see where it goes, because after this part of the plot, I haven't heard anything about the book, so I have no idea what to expect for the rest of the book. And I'm only like 35% of the way through it, maybe. So there's still quite a bit of story for me to get to, so I am so excited. I did finish 2 more of the little granny squares that I was crocheting last night. So at this point, I only have 3 more that have the brown part so far, so I have to put the white and the pink on the last 3, and then I can start stitching them together into the little tote bag that I'm making. So I think I'll be able to finish that this week at this rate, especially because it's supposed to rain all week, so I won't have too many like outside projects to do or anything like fun outside to do. So I'll probably just end up finishing this crochet bag, which I'm so excited about, or at least make some good progress on it. Anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping. I don't have really anything else to say right now about the book. Like, I don't want to just like say every single, you know, thought coming into my head. So I'm gonna just go ahead and read some more, and then I will keep you guys posted with my updates and thoughts. I'm loving it so far though. I'm in the middle of chapter 16. It's also raining, so if you guys can hear that, hopefully it's not like too loud. But I am just absolutely shocked. So like I said, just keep in mind, like, spoilers, I'm in the middle of chapter 16, but holy freaking crap, they're a mated pair, Taryn and Sigale, the strongest bonded pair in centuries. Okay, so this is gonna be like how the story is taken, I suppose. Dan is really getting on my nerves. I am like sick of him thinking that Violet can't do anything for herself. Like, she's the first one to have 2 dragons bonded to her, so like I don't understand why he can't like get that in his thick skull. He's just really getting on my nerves. So I'm gonna finish chapter 16 as much as I can. I have about 30 minutes still until I have to be at work, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep reading. Dane would not have stepped in for Violet. I call BS on that, because he was like wanting to step in on the mat and like yelling at everybody, and he's been so protective of her when she didn't even need it, mind you. No, I wouldn't have. What the heck? What is up with Dane? Like, what is his ulterior motive with this? Because at this point I'm feeling like there has to be an ulterior motive. I don't understand. There is no us. Yeah, there's about to be an us. Oh, I think you'll find that's no longer the case, Xaden murmurs next to me, gripping my elbow and yanking me out of the path of another rider running from the other direction. Yesterday, he would have let me run headfirst into him. He might even have pushed me into him. I am just like eating this up. This is so funny to me. I also love that Xaden calls her Violence. I think it's like the funniest nickname. I recently read a book where the male main character had a nickname for the female main character, and it really irked me because it was just like, I forgot what her name was. I don't know. I forgot her name, but it was like whatever her name was, girl. Like, I think her name was Hallie. Was it Hallie? Hallie girl. I kept calling her Hallie girl, and I'm like, ugh. I don't know, it makes me want to vomit. So I like that he's calling her Violence instead of Violet. Like, it's hilarious because he's talking about like how she's a violent little thing even though she's tiny. And yeah, I really like that little nickname. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading so I don't just like kill my battery, but I will fill you guys in before I have to go into work on how I'm feeling. I'm not quite done reading for this morning yet, but I love this quote. So he's talking about how she's gonna be like the #1 hunted person because of the dragon that just picked her, and how everybody's going to want to kill her so that they can hopefully bond with her dragon. And he's like, you look really, really calm for someone who just found out they're about to be hunted. And she says, it's a typical Wednesday for me, and honestly being hunted by 41 people is a lot less intimidating than constantly watching dark corners for you. And I just think that that's a really good quote, so I'm gonna keep reading. I just get the feeling something crazy is about to happen. So they've all just like stepped forward from their dragons. I also feel like this video quality is not very good. It's the front camera on my phone, so if it sucks, I'm sorry. I'm like, so Dain has come up and he's like excited that she got to keep both of them. Like, sir, back away. And she's like, I guess I did. And then he goes, where's your, and he lets go and circles me. Can I unlace this, just the top? He asks, tugging at the raised neck of the back of my vest. And she nods. Why are you nodding? Like, you're #1. You're the #1 target. A few pushes and pulls later, this crisp October air nibs at the base of my neck. Tell the boy to move. Taryn orders. Taryn says you should move. Suddenly, my vision isn't mine. I'm looking at my own back through Andarna's eyes. Oh, okay. It's a tattoo. I was like, is he about to try and kill her? Like, I'm so confused because I know they talked about like when your neck is covered that you're safer, but if it's not, it's a weak point. I'm like, you need to keep that on though. I feel like that's about to come into play at some point. Like, keep that neck piece on. Okay, so Dain laces it back up. Okay, maybe not. That did scare me for a minute. I was like, what is about to happen right now? So Dain kissed her, and apparently he feels some type of way about it, and she feels nothing. Ooh, okay. I didn't even think about that. Like, what is her signet about to be? Ooh, okay. So unfortunately, chapter 17 looks like it's a little bit longer, and I really don't want to have to stop in the middle of it. So I'm going to stop at the start point of chapter 17, and I will have to listen to more later. I think I'll be able to listen to some today, and then I'll have to read more tonight. I'm eating this up, and I'm so excited that there's already the second and third book out, because I hate when you like read the first book and you have to wait for the second and third. So this time I can just like jump straight into it because they're already out. So that's gonna be it. I gotta go to work. So I got 8 hours. I'm gonna put my time in, and then I can keep reading. To get some steps in, so hopefully it's not too loud and you can hear me, but I'm on chapter 24, and they just ran into Violet's mom, and my thoughts, I think, are coming to fruition that I said earlier about my prediction on like which way the two of them were going to go. I felt like it was either going to be like they found something out about Violet's mom and like she wasn't being honest, or the other way around, and it seems like it's heading that way. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to go, but there's definitely some things that have been kept, like the records not matching up with all the different names, and Liam and Xaden's story kind of showing a little bit into like their foster situation and stuff in the previous chapters. So I'm curious to see like how that's going to go, but my thoughts so far seem to be kind of coming into play. So I'm going to keep listening to chapter 24 and finishing up my last 3 little granny squares for my tote bag. So we will see. I'm in chapter 25 right now, and my heart is just like totally beating, trying to figure out what the heck this is about to be. What are they actually trying to find in her mom's office? I don't know, but I am just like, are they about to catch her? I don't think they will. I just get the feeling this is about to be a total like mic drop moment whenever we find out what they're gonna find in her office. I have no idea, unless it's like something about her, and like not necessarily like a prophecy, but like something about what's going on with her. I don't know, but I don't think that'd be like the most important thing. I don't know. Or something about their rebellion and like all of those people. So we shall see. I'm also on my last granny square. Okay. So I just finished chapter 25. So I'm going to start 26 here in a minute. But I finished all of my granny squares. I don't know if you guys are like invested in this like I am. Let me see if I can get you guys some better light. I don't know if you guys are as invested in this as I am, but I actually ordered this like board that will hold, it says delivered. Okay, I ordered this little board on Amazon and I've been waiting for it to get delivered today that I show? I ordered this board that I can like put these on to hold the same like shape as each other. So I'm about to go get that. I guess it's in the mailbox. And I'm going to like test it out. And then, yeah, I walked for like, let's see how many minutes I walked. I was only going at 1.7 miles per hour because I was trying to like be able to do stuff. So I walked for 45 minutes and my little walking pad says I walked 1.29 miles. But I do have my Fitbit, or not my Fitbit, I've had a Fitbit in years. I have my Apple Watch on my ankle so that it would catch my steps like as I was crocheting. But I actually signed up for this step bet with, I think her Instagram is like Jenna Bariatric Bestie, but I love her videos. And she's doing this step bet and I signed up for it. And so I needed to get some more steps today. And this has been so motivating. So I'm currently, I just hit a power day on my step bet. So you get these like goals of how many steps you have to get based on like your recent activity on your Apple Watch. And this is the warm-up week, but if you enter this bet, you have to pay $40. And then if you meet your step goals that you're supposed to make throughout, I think it's like a 4-week program. It's 5 weeks, but the first week is a warm-up. Then you get your $40 back. And you also split the pot of money from like people who don't get their $40 back. My goal is just to get back my $40. So far I've gotten 3 power days and I'm feeling very, very good about that. So I am just excited. I know not every day is going to be this good. This is like day 3, so the momentum is here, but I'm feeling really nice about that. I did have to use like my normal watch band from my arm. So I have like these stretchy ones, which was a bit tight on my ankle. So I need to take that off right now before I cut off my circulation. I'm going to put this back on my wrist and just see like how many more steps I can get. I actually convinced my husband to sign up for this step bet with me, so he probably needs to use my walking pad because we were both like really low on steps and it's storming outside, or is going to, so we couldn't walk outside. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this back on my wrist and then I'm gonna go get that out of the mail. And I don't know, I might like physically read, but I also kind of need to like do some cleaning around the house. Our little puppy dog decided to eat our door frame today. Yeah, he did. Tell him what you did. I'm trying to get him used to being picked up. He literally ate our door frame. I had to take Perry to the vet, and so he is terrified of our vet because he's really afraid of men. And our vet is the nicest person. He was literally like a godsend for us with Henry, with all of his medical problems, and it's also amazing with Perry. But he is actually seeing another vet at the clinic who is a woman because he is just like completely terrified of our sweet vet, which I feel really bad about because he's just like so nice. But I did not want to take him to the vet with me because he didn't need to go, just Perry did, and she was seeing our normal vet. And I left him at home and he literally tore a part off of our door frame that was metal. He's fine, like his mouth wasn't bleeding or anything like that, or his paws or anything, but I literally don't know how he did that. Like he tore it up, but it's actually insane. And he just got some like really bad separation anxiety, and yeah, he did not want to be left alone. It was so sad. When I got home, he was just like squalling. He was so upset. So may have some cuddles with Bryn and help him feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, those are thoughts so far. I will check back in with you guys later. Okay, holy crap. I have now finished the book. I'm gonna try and go through like chronologically with some of my thoughts, but just know that like I've finished the book, okay? So if you haven't finished the book, probably pause here because it's going to get a little jumbled, I'm sure, as I'm talking about things, and I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. So I'm just going to kind of talk about like the back half of the book because I just flew through the rest of it. I'm talking listening to it, reading it, could not stop just inhaling it. So I definitely 5-star read. 5-star read for sure. I just gotta say, I knew it in the very beginning. I was like, one of them is going to jump to the other one side, and I figured that it was going to be Violet jumping to Xaden's side of like the rebellion. And then I really, really, really wish I had picked up my phone last night when I was reading, but it was like 11:30 at night, and I was just like, I've got to get done with this book. But when Violet got the poison dagger, or was it a sword? I don't know. When Violet had the poison in her, I was just kind of wondering, like, could it be her brother that they're taking her to? And I really, 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 really wish I would have pulled out my phone and said that, because obviously it ended up being her brother. And I freaking knew it. Like, I knew it. I wish I would have picked up my phone and told you guys. I could have like the timestamp of saying like, I think this is gonna happen, and then, oh yeah, it happened. But I promise, I was like, oh, this is about to be her brother. So I am just like so glad that the second and third book are already out, because I would be so upset if I only had the first book to read right now. I am just like totally in shock. So I want to say like the back half of the book is what I've read without talking to you guys. So sorry for that like jump scare, but it was just like a snowball effect, and then I literally just like couldn't stop to talk about the book. Like I had to be in the book. I am just absolutely obsessed with this. I feel like the writing of this book is so unique to what I've been reading recently. And it's just reminding me that I need to read more fantasy books, because I've been reading a lot of like fiction books, romance books, historical fiction too. There's just something so good about a fantasy book, and especially a romantasy book. So I have really been enjoying this one. I feel like the relationship, like the conversations, the wit, the tension between the two main characters is just like unmatched with anything I've read. I'm not gonna say ever, like I have to think about it, but in a very long time, for sure. If not ever, I don't know. This has been just like literally laugh out loud, giggling, listening to some of the things that they say, both between like Taryn and Violet, and then Xaden and Violet. So I don't think the Kindle version had like the 2 bonus chapters at the end from Xaden's point of view, but oh my gosh, you have got to read or listen to them in some way, shape, or form. Find them, because those were amazing. So I just listened this morning to those 2 like bonus chapters, and that like really put the bow on top for me, because the whole time I was wishing like, I kind of wish we could see into Xaden's thoughts right now. And so being able to like go through the whole story until the very end without hearing from Xaden, and then also having the bonus chapters and hearing and like seeing a couple of the chapters from his perspective. Some of my favorite quotes came from those chapters, and so like I even read one out loud to you guys earlier in the video. And so to see Xaden's version of like hearing that, he had said like his part of the quote, I think it was like chapter 16, and he like said his part of the quote, and then he's like having some like inner thoughts. She comes back saying like being hunted by 40 people is a lot less like alarming or concerning than watching the shadows for you. And I was just like waiting to hear that part of the quote, because that one really got me earlier in the book. So I've just obsessed with this. I will say I got a little bit lost like in the whole battle. I had kept having to like pause and go back, because I was actually listening to it and reading it at the same time. It got a little bit jumbled for me because it was just so late and I was really tired. But I did make sure to like go back and keep reading when I was getting lost. And that battle scene was just so good. At first I thought like, this is a lot getting thrown at me, but then slowly I was able to like visualize it. And I think if I were to read it again, I would be able to visualize it a lot better. But I really enjoyed that entire scene. I'm really sad that Liam died. I wanted him to make it. I figured he was going to die like in the next 1 or 2 battles, but I was kind of thinking they would have him hold out like this one battle and then maybe die the next one. But I feel like in order to make the stakes higher, you kind of have to kill off like a favorite character who's maybe not like the main character, of course. But I feel like that was kind of part of it. I definitely got a little bit confused with just like the ending of the battle and everything, but I think like more pieces are going to come together on that. I think what got me is like when what was she called? Vernon, whenever she said like you can stop the sky, I had a hard time visualizing that whole thing of like stopping the sky and then like pausing time and showing where the lightning bolt was going. So I honestly probably need to reread that, because I finished this book like about midnight last night, and I go to bed usually at like 10 o'clock. So that was really late for me to be finishing up the book. But absolutely loved it. I was so excited to see like where they took her, and that they didn't take her back to school. But I was excited to see like where they took her, and like just I'm excited that she like didn't lose her memory, so we don't have to go through like that whole plot point. I feel like that's overused a lot in books. So I'm really excited to see like where this goes. So I'm gonna hopefully start book 2 like today. I already downloaded it on my Kindle, and I'm gonna see if I can also find it on audio, because I can just read so much faster if I can include audio and like cook, drive, clean, like do all the things while listening. So I'm so excited. I absolutely ate this book up completely, like no crumbs were left at all. I loved this book. I also loved like just the found family of their friendship. I just wanted to kind of mention that. I feel like her mom absolutely sucks, and I kind of saw that coming. Can we have a moment, like, and one moment only, because he doesn't even deserve a moment, about Dane? That man has made me so mad from the very beginning of this book, which I know is the whole point, but come on, like, oh, nasty. That's all I can say. Like, he made me so mad. So anyways, I'm so glad that she at least knows that now, and she can stop like trying to say that they're best friends and everything. It's such a shame because they were best friends like since they were born, but that's just kind of how it is, I guess. But it really sucks. I'm really excited to see where the rest of the story is going to go. And when she asked like if when she asked if Xaden had the knife for the dagger from her mom's desk, my heart just completely dropped. I will say, oh, my light just died. I will say that I did shed some tears when Liam was dying. Like, that was really, really, really sad. So that one got me for sure. But other than that, I did not cry. Even like that was like the spot to shed a few tears, but I did shed a couple of tears. But the amount of times that I laughed in this book, like, I just can talk about it for days and days and days. But I don't want this video to be like 5 hours long. I know it's probably a longer one, but hopefully you guys are able to like read the book with me. I love reading a book and like watching somebody's reading vlog as I'm reading it. So I hope that my way of like telling you spoilers, but like only bits at a time, was like eventful and helpful for you guys. So that way you could like basically read the book with me. Sorry for that last like jump at the end of the book, but I was just like totally into it. So hopefully you guys were too. But thank you guys so much for watching today's reading vlog. Let me know if you guys want to see another reading vlog. I don't know that I will film one for the second book just because I have a lot going on in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be reading it, but I don't know if I'm going to be filming it. So hopefully, I don't know if I will or not, but I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun filming it. It was so fun to like be able to talk to you guys about it. So I'll definitely be doing this video again for another book. Let me know if you have any suggestions of books that either you want to read and you would want a reading vlog to kind of like watch through with it, or ones that you've already read that you would just like think I should read. So let me know down below. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.